Tony, tell us about your one-on-one ab isolator video.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh, man.
I'm just going to hurt her when she gets out here. I'm letting you know right now.
I'm well and truly salt and pepper, mate.
It makes you look distinguished.
Did it?
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. Like Clooney.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Fuck you. If you could... Wait a minute. How do I phrase this in a way that makes you seem like I have a grasp of the English language? In honour of the episode of Penny Dreadful we just watched,
yeah.
If you could have any character from a TV show to be your familiar, who would you have and why?
Like familiar meaning not just kind of like a mate, but like in a slightly different...
No, like, okay, imagine like Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Let's dumb it way the fuck down, because I know who I'm talking to here.
You've stolen my answer, Ollie.
Oh, come on now. Salem? Well, you can have Salem if you want. Do you want Salem? Why would you have Salem?
No, I wouldn't have Salem. Oh, God. Sam, you go.
Does the character need to have had previous magical properties, or could I...
No, not at all.
Ah.
Could be anyone for any reason.
But they... Oh, shit, because I was tempted to say Woody from Cheers, but then he's still in human form.
He would be a great familiar, thinking about it. He's so upbeat all the time.
Yeah. I'd come in, he's polishing the glass. Hey, Sam.
Oh, yeah,
nice.
I like it.
But, like, is that okay, or would I need to put him into an animal form?
Well, okay, then there you go. Well, if you had to put him into an animal form, who would he be?
I think he would... I think I would say Gibbon.
A gibbon?
But then...
I feel like he doesn't have his personality and the body and, you know, the personality of a gibbon don't match.
No, they don't.
I feel like a gibbon's too frantic.
It is, absolutely.
He'd be shitting all over the place, thumping his chest.
Yeah, you're right. What other marsupial could I use?
Like a... yeah.
Sloth is too
like a
slow.
loris?
That's maybe a slow lorry. Yeah.
A slow lorry?
Is that what they're not called?
is that the singular of slow loris? Or is it the other way round?
I don't know. Slow... I thought the S was silent.
Oh, it might be. I might have just been fucking making a tit of myself all these years.
But maybe
in all the conversations I have about slow lorises, I've always called them slow lorry.
Let's assume it's a slow loris. Yes, I'd pick Woody from Cheers, but in the body of a slow loris.
Oh, that is an excellent answer. Charlie? You got some shoes to fill here.
Yeah.
Big gibbony shoes.
Got so lost in Sam's answer, I've not been thinking about my own. See, I'm going to need someone a little bit like Sam Ely-esque, who's very upbeat and sort of just takes anything on the chin, because I'm quite serious and moody. I need a yang to my yin.
What if, instead of finding the person, what if you started with an animal form and then tried to fill that vessel with someone? You know what I mean?
Well, it would have to... I mean, I would probably pick like just a really friendly like dog. Just
what breed?
Something... I don't know, just... maybe like a Jack Russell. They're pretty energetic and friendly.
Yeah, faithful.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't... Who's the guy from OC that you love? Put him in the body of Jack Russell.
Seth
Cohen.
Oh,
yeah, God, yeah.
Look, I'm not going to lie to you, it did spring to my mind. But...
Mate, I think it should stay sprung.
And have him wear a cardigan as well on his little...
A little diamond check cardigan. Oh, mate, I could see you guys. That's perfect.
A double act, rolling around town.
Oh, mate, I love it. I feel like you've inspired me with your Charles and Burroughs answer there, Sam Ely. I'm going to go for someone else. I'm going to go for Dr. Niles Crane.
Yeah.
in the body of a snooty bird. Can't you imagine him in like a real,
toucan.
yeah. Oh God, I was gonna go cockatiel, but fuck yeah, toucan. That is, yeah. Imagine that. He'd throw out all the fucking quips at the right time. Oh, Niles. Oh, yes, I could just see it. He could give me advice as well.
Yeah.
And he'd always be good for some quality visual humour, some slapstick. Slapstick would abound.
It would.
Perfect. I love it.
I think you've got the better one.
What's that?
I think you've got the better one.
Oh, okay. Well, I think to be honest, that was more like it. Ignore last week's fiasco, and let's just focus on the good times. Welcome to TV Party, everyone. I hope you're all well and rested, and you've all got a beer, or if you don't like beer, a tea. And if you don't like tea, well, what the fuck do you want from me? Make up your own mind. Today we're going to be talking about Penny Bloody Dreadful, a show that I love dearly, and I'm not really sure what these two chumps think about it, so we're going to find that out. We're also going to be talking about what we've been watching this week, including a pretty big show that I feel like has snuck back in under the radar. So I will be having a chat about that as well, I think. Right, Penny Dreadful. Who's going to give us a rundown? Should it be me? Should it be you?
Well, you introduced it. It was your choice.
Yeah.
So I chose last week that we would review an episode from season 2. I think it's episode 3 of Penny Dreadful. It's called The Nightcomers. Basically, it's a bit of a two-hander. It's a flashback episode, which in some series could be a bit of a death knell, but no. So basically, it all centres around Eva Green's character, Vanessa Ives, who is possessed by some sort of a devil or a demon, and she hears tell of a woman who lives out in the West Country on the moors called the Cutwife, and she goes there to study under her so she can kind of try and understand a little bit better what it is that's going on with her, what it is that's tearing her life apart. Sam Ely, I'm going to go straight to you and ask, what did you think of The Nightcomers?
What I liked about the episode is it was a good, just a self-contained episode. Like, character goes here to like a kind of new place. This kind of isolated story happens. I think it reminds me of like Lost. My favorite episode of Lost was with the spider thing. That's one of my favorite episodes. I always like it when
the Nikki and Paolo episode.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
You're such a hipster.
It's not like
it's bullshit.
No, because take away the fact that was just in Lost. Like, it's still a self-contained good story. It just happened to feature characters and kill off characters we didn't like. So with this, I'm always glad when shows do something like this, because it's easier for people who, like myself, didn't quite get into the first time round, could jump in when it's found its own momentum, and then kind of take another assessment. I tell you what, I did like it more than I thought I would, and I had forgotten some of the initial appeal, when the three witches from Macbeth rock up, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot, different characters. It's like a bit of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen-esque, and I forgot about that, and I was like, oh yeah, that was actually quite a cool idea. But that said, there's still just it's still clearly this episode it's pretty tight, and I liked the relationship between Vanessa and the mentor. There's a scary death scene, all that type of stuff. That great scene where the witch tricks the guy into doing her bidding in that kind of dominatrix scene. I was like, yeah, that was pretty cool. It had a lot of stuff happening in the episode, but I still found it just kind of has I can only ever explain it as that BBC type of vibe to it. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like they're splashing that Sky money on it though, mate. I feel like it's gone a bit beyond BBC.
I'm not convinced.
It's got those production values, son.
Yeah.
It's got CGI in it. Come on now.
Well, I suppose for me, it's just a bit of an issue of taste in that I can't take magic that seriously. Like, as much as I quite like fantasy stuff, deep down, like, there's got to be some, like, Terry Pratchett. I can't really take it too seriously. And I'm aware, obviously, Penny Dreadful, it's still, like, I guess it's, like, interchangeable. It could be this or the Force or Batman's utility belt. You know, it's still the thing the character has to get good at. But taste-wise, I do struggle a bit more with this type of magic stuff. But I'll say I came away liking it more than I expected. And I would say I'd be willing to probably give another shot, the show.
No.
I remember the first episode not offending me, but like obviously wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go back and watch it. But I worry, though, that what if it was just the fact it was a self-contained story that helped me to come to that position? What if I go back and Josh Hartnett's punching a werewolf and I'm just like, oh, fucking hell, that's why I didn't carry on with this. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like it's treats the subject matter in quite an earnest way, which is what I kind of find appealing about it. Obviously, it's got a bit of campy sort of gothicness to it, which is always welcome. But I feel like it's I don't know. I feel like it's the first time we've seen some of these characters treated in a way that like this. Which kind of appeals to me, I've got to say. Like to see like a really serious take on, you know, like the Wolfman or something like that. I was like, oh man, I'm digging this, and like in the way that I know it's a bit over fucking egg these days, but like certain superheroes where you think, wouldn't it be really cool to see like a real like a psychoanalysis and a, you know, like really get into the nuts and bolts of like what these characters are. And what their drive is, to see that like done with, you know, monsters from the Victorian age, I fucking love. For me, this episode is probably my absolute favourite. It gives me goosebumps when I watch it. It's like you said, it's like a little movie in and of itself. If they stretched that out into 90 minutes, I would be a very happy boy. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's certainly. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Luke Skywalker goes to see Yoda on Dagobah.
She definitely had a bit of a Yoda vibe going on.
Yeah, especially when she's laying in bed at the end. Spoilers. I was like, oh man,
that was exactly it. When Luke, I was just like,
Luke and Yoda.
Yeah, tuck me in, Luke.
Conchia, and I was like, oh yeah, kill your baby, I shall. But yeah, I think the atmosphere and the vibe is like bang on from the very first moment it starts. Right until the end, like when she's standing outside the hut for like 3 nights in a row, and then she finally lets her in, and like the scene at the end, which I won't give away, but is pretty harrowing. I think you'd all agree. Helen McCrory, who plays like the head of the coven, absolutely spot on, so good, like that amazing like scenery chewing villain, and Patti LuPone, who plays like legendary Broadway actress who plays the cut wife. Like the chemistry between her and Eva Green, who I also think is one of the best actresses on TV at the moment, for me is absolutely spot on. Absolutely loved it. There's something I love about fantasy and magic and especially witches. Like when I don't know what it is. I've always been into that kind of stuff ever since I was a little kid. So to see something like that being treated quite honestly, like that side, I know obviously we're not talking about the Invisible Man and Frankenstein's monster, but like to see witchcraft, like West Country witchcraft, kind of like treated in a way that's kind of like, I've never really seen it on TV like that before. So for me, that hits all the right spots.
Maybe that's why I find it a bit more BBC, because it's like, I suppose if you were an American watching it, you would find the West Country accent a bit more exotic. But for me, it just kind of reminds me, like, oh, it's just the West Country, isn't it?
No. So now over to the voice of pessimism, Charlie Cox. When I told Charlie we were watching this last week, he said, "I've had enough of this fantasy bullshit." Well, I believe is a quote. So Charlie, did it win you over?
Yes and no.
Ooh, I can take that.
So it's kind of similar to Sam. Like as a singular episode of television, I thought it was fucking excellent. I really, really enjoyed it. I must admit. Like,
oh man, I'm so glad to hear you say that. It makes me so happy.
Yeah, like from sort of 5-10 minutes in, I was fully on board. I was really enjoying it. I thought Eva Green was great. Everything about it was just sort of really entertaining. Um, but then, on the other hand, that kind of made me worry because I was just like, I don't remember this show being like this, and I kind of suspected that if this is like the best episode, if I was going to go back and watch it from the start, would I enjoy it? Because haven't I already seen, the creme de la creme? So I kind of asked my housemates about it because I know that they watch it, and my housemate said that he felt like that episode was everything this TV series should be, but isn't, which kind of put me off a little bit.
But to be honest, if every episode was like that, it'd be like fucking Sting. You know what I mean? It'd be like those tantric orgasms that last for 10 episodes in a row. I'd be like, whoa, like there's no fucking bodily fluid left inside me. I'm just a dry, withered up husk. Like, I feel like there's no way it can. No, there are very, very few TV series that can maintain that level of quality over 10 episodes or 12 episodes. I feel like you're asking for a show that simply does not exist.
Yeah, what exactly, like, did your housemate elaborate on that? Meaning what? The types of story, the type of the structure of the episode, the amount of magic stuff in it?
Not quite sure, to be honest with you. I think he just felt like maybe the show was going for that kind of quality and story and stuff, but it never quite hit it. But with that episode standing on its own,
one thing I would say is that there is a two-hander episode kind of lends itself to that intensity. It's literally almost all the scenes are two people standing, talking, having an intense conversation. You know what I mean? No show can really survive on that for the entire time. I think that does lend it, a little bit more weight than, say, when there's all four or five of them in the room together, and it kind of gets a little bit lost in the wash, if you know what I mean. It gets a little bit diluted. I think you guys should really go back and check it out. I think season 2, is better than season 1. Season 1 still has a little bit more of the campy about it. Like I said, which is no problem for me, but for some people is not as appealing. Season 2 is just like a whole other beast. I think it is a little bit more intense and a little bit more acty and less, Sean Connery, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's definitely it's not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with fucking, Victorian monsters in it. That's for sure. I think you could rest assured that there'd be some serious acting going on. So, yeah.
I'll admit, there were some, great lines of dialogue in that episode. Made me appreciate, even if it's just two people in a room and they're just trying to get on with the plot. There were some great little turns of phrase in the episode. Made me kind of go, fuck, I probably overlooked that element when I first watched it. Because it's as you were saying, it's not often you see this side of law done seriously. So it'd be nice, I guess, to go back and be like, okay, let's see this with fairer eyes.
I feel like the story, that the dialogue is much less perfunctory. It's much less let's get a fucking massive old wedge of exposition out of the way. It is much more in that kind of. It's weird. It's like an HBO show where there's 5% plot and 95%. Character work and that kind of stuff. There's very little today we need to go to the fucking the catacombs of this place and kill this guy, and it's not really like that. It is very much character study for the entire thing, and then maybe the last episode kind of builds up to we need to go here and kill this thing or find this person or solve this mystery. Like I said, so much more of it is to do with the characters and the way they interact with each other, which is amazing. There are so, Timothy Dalton, excellent. Josh Hartnett is amazing in it as well, which is, it's not like I ever hated Josh Hartnett, but he's not someone when someone says, quality acting, I don't think Josh Hartnett is not the face that pops into my mind. Eva Green, though, she's by far and away, it's her show, but, she's absolutely excellent. So if you do like it all, I honestly think you should go back and watch the episodes, definitely.
I would say it's on my list of shows to watch.
Oh, good man. I'm glad to hear. Right, that's it for this part. Listen to these ad breaks and we'll be back in 1 minute.
Oh, doesn't it look good already? Okay.
Jumbo Scampi for limited.
All for a price that will make you.
How the hell am I supposed to pay?
Right, lads, what have you been watching this week?
First of all, I finished Making of a Murderer. I can't remember if I'd finished it last time we spoke.
No, I
But
think you were
finished
like
that.
3 episodes away from the end.
Right, so seen it all. We've all seen it, right?
Yeah, we've all seen it.
Have to admit, last episode, bit flat because it just kind of went, talk about it on Twitter, guys, and then left it at that. But there was still some mad stuff in that final episode about the chief prosecutor, sexting jury members.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about that, I always think, is his boast of, you want do you want to come home with a DA with a $350,000 house? I'm like, even in English terms, that's not that much money. Like, let's say house is $350,000 is probably what, like 180 grand, 200 grand. That's that's barely getting you a fucking 1-bed terrace in Woking town centre. That's for sure. I feel like that was a strange boast.
It was, but it was telling. You could just see his entire motivation for ever wanting to be a prosecutor. Just like, well, it was just being the centre of attention and being like in charge. But so I still enjoyed the show. There's still loads of headfuckery, but then you can't trump those last 10 seconds of the jinx. So I don't know what I was, I guess, hoping Making a Murderer to do in its final moments, but I don't know. Yeah, still enjoyed it. But I still prefer the Jinx, and it has to just come down to Robert Durst. He's fucking
a more inspiring leading man. That's all it is. Anything else, or just Making a Murderer?
I watched some Master of None, which I'm really enjoying.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been trying to finish off some Kimmy Schmidt. I was only like 2 episodes off from
I fucking love that show. Have you been watching the new Venture Brothers?
I watched the first episode, yeah.
Good, right?
Oh, man, it was... And I didn't recap any stuff because I thought, right, let's just go in and just see, like, I was imagining if we would hog tie Charlie to watch an episode, like, what would it be like if you just watch this show from this new season? I was surprised it wasn't that impenetrable.
No, I feel like this season would be if I was like, Charlie, I'm going to start you from watching the first episode of last season, it would be a completely different kettle of fish. This season, because obviously they have like the clean slate where they moved to New York. Whereas if it was like last season, you'd be like, wait, what the fuck? What's going on?
Yeah.
Why does that guy have tits? And like all these kind of questions. But I thought it was a really excellent episode, setting up some nice stuff you can see.
Yeah.
I love some of the new characters, Wide Whale and you're messing with the fallen archer body, which made me chuckle. They could just think so much comedy from a fucking silly pun superhero name. It's great. I love it.
It's a damn good pilot. Like, it's amazing how much they cram into an episode.
Oh god, yeah.
And whenever I've gone back to watch old episodes, you see where they put one thing and later on has developed into something else. But it makes it all seem like it was like the grand design all along. So I'm looking forward to when you can like revisit it and be like, fuck, like this throwaway line ended up being the conception for this fucking set piece later on, all that type of stuff. Damn good.
I'm expecting for it to end after next season because it takes them so long to do it. It must be such a fucking absolute ball ache. And I feel like certain things are coming to, you know what I mean? Like, where can they go from here? They've
said as well, like, it doesn't pay too much either.
No, I bet it doesn't. God, those poor guys.
Adult Swim money's not a lot.
No. They need to be making Archer. That's what they need to be doing. The much inferior Archer. Yeah, cool. Charlie, what have you been up to?
couple of shows. One I've mentioned before, one I haven't. So I'm watching season 2 of The Affair, which I know I've hammered on about to you guys before, but like honestly, it's so fucking good. The performances in it are like devastatingly good. Every episode is like another crushing emotional blow from one of the characters, and they've done such a good job of making a show about just, you know, a sort of sordid love affair into all this other stuff, and it doesn't feel like it's been sort of...
Love affair.
Huh?
Did you describe their love affair as sordid?
Yeah.
I was on the impression it was like, of course it is, but like it looked like from the poster it was a bit more like a glamorous type of love affair, you know, in how it's presented. But is it like depicted as being really like, are they like really awful people?
You could argue that, certainly.
Is there like fucking up against walls and stuff like that? Or is it glam, like they laser down on like a fucking...
It's probably leaning more towards fucking up against walls, if I'm honest with you. There was sex against the tree.
Dumpster fucking?
No dumpsters involved yet.
No back alleys, no.
No back alleys.
Sounds a bit like a euphemism, but I did not mean that.
But yeah, no, it's just really fucking good. They've done, like, as I was saying, like they've moved it from that into something completely different, and it doesn't feel like it's been crowbarred in. It feels relatively natural because they obviously had to go somewhere from that story, and they've done a pretty good fucking job of it. So I'm well into that at the moment, and I would highly recommend that. And then the other thing I've been watching is this thing that I saw pop up on Netflix, which you guys might have seen, called F is for Family.
Oh yeah, It's I watched the whole thing. It's fucking great, right?
Yeah. So basically, Ollie, have you seen any Bill Burr stand up?
Yeah, loads. Yeah, I've seen at least 2 or 3.
Yeah. So
did Bill Burr do this?
Yeah, that's his voice.
Yeah.
He wrote.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, he.
Yeah.
It's like it kind of reminds you a little bit of King of the Hill, but like in a like with filthy language and lots of
no way.
Lots of people having sex in it.
Oh, dude, I'm so on this.
It's good.
Yeah.
You will like it, Sam. You will really like it.
Yeah,
I think it's right up your alley.
It's everything about it I love. It's 6 fucking episodes. Perfect. Like, I don't want to watch 21 episodes of whatever you're making anymore. I don't have... My attention span is not that fucking long. All right, make 6 episodes and I'm done with it. It's 3 hours of my life. Perfect. And they're all really fucking good episodes. There's a character in there which is essentially Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I was going to say that guy's great as well.
He's got the best line in the whole show, which I won't ruin for you, but he like brought the house down when we were watching it, me and all of my housemates. Fucking hell, it's great. I just can't recommend it enough. It's so much better than I thought it was going to be, because I was like, oh, it's Bill Burr, he's pretty funny. And it can be a little bit stressful, because Bill Burr is a bit of a stressful character. He's just basically screaming for the whole thing. But it's really, really good. Like, I would highly recommend it. It's sort of the same sort of vibe as like a BoJack Horseman, or I don't know what else. I had another one in my head, but it's gone. But I would highly recommend that.
It's got some amazing people in it as well. Laura Dern plays the mum. I'll tell you who's one of the best characters in it as well, and who deserves a lot of credit, because they do a voice in it. Obviously, a lot of people just use their normal voices if they're famous and they're in a cartoon. But Justin Long is in it, and he plays like the surly teenage kid. Oh my god, he's so perfect, so fucking good. Like a real 70s sort of cut off denim jacket, prog rock listening kids. Oh, he's absolutely spot on. Like, so good. Very, very good. Anything else, Charlie?
That's pretty much it.
Oh, if I can, I was going to say, actually, I did watch a fairly new episode of, well, I'd say new episode of The Simpsons, in terms of like where The Simpsons dropped off. You know, I think it was maybe season 18 maybe. 18? 19,
right. You realise it's up to like series 27 by now.
There you go. So I know it's like not the most recent, but I'm aware it's, you know, if you were to divide The Simpsons in half between the golden era and everything else.
But it's not even half now. Like the gold, what people consider to be the golden era is like the 7 years, like from series like 2 to series like 8. After that, everyone's like, that's the point when everyone was like, this show sucks.
Yeah. But I watched it and I was like, whatever season it was, maybe it was 22 at the most, and it probably wasn't. But I was like, this isn't too bad. I had some big laughs in it. Actually,
I think it's still funny, man. It's different. I've always said I feel like the early Simpsons is something in and of itself. You couldn't say it's like, oh, it's it's a slapstick or it's a this, that, or the other. It is its own thing. I feel like the later ones are more like spoofs. Like it's a real big, broad, like, oh, let's make fun of this current event thing. But it does it way better than anything else. Maybe South Park would be the other exception for like, here's let's lampoon something that's like a current pop culture trend or something. But it does it fucking damn sight better than Family Guy does, that's for sure. But I think it's just a totally different beast. It's completely surreal now, and
there was a bit where.
What was the episode? What happened in the episode?
Oh, it was when Lisa became a tutor to. Obviously, like the fucking episodes are structured on just these tangents. So, like, Lisa became a tutor to Cletus's kids, and Bart went to see a therapist because he was naughty and stuff like that. But there was a bit where Lisa was like basically kicked out a third-story window, right? The joke was like, "Bro, get out of here!" and she gets knocked out, and then she kind of lands on her ass. It's like boom, like that. And I was like, hold on a sec, that 8-year-old girl has just been thrown out of a third-story window, and you'd think, I know The Simpsons started to like bend the rules with reality, but in the quote golden era, like if a character fell out of a third-story window, they'd be fucking dead. So it was an interesting point.
Well, Homer did fall down a fucking ravine in like in series 2.
Perhaps Homer had more exceptions.
Because that's the thing. Because even back in the day, like Matt Groening was like, we can't do this to him because you realise he would die, and that's when they started to do like what they call like rubber band reality, where it's kind of like, well, how much he'll be okay, and the Simpsons couldn't afford this on their salary, and you think, well, for the purposes of a joke, let's let them afford it. You know what I mean? Those kind of things.
But it was a point in an episode where I became more aware than I had previously of like, the divide between how much that rubber band is stretched in the earlier seasons to now. And it didn't make me like throw the TV out the window and be like, fuck this. But it did make me go, like, that was something that I don't think would have happened in the earlier seasons. And I suppose now they have to give themselves...
Not with Lisa, definitely, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like I said, I still love the one thing that annoys me, and I also love at the same time, is the way that they rely on like those fucking 5-minute couch gags by like guest animators. I'm like, yeah, they're all funny. Just put them up online. Don't put them in front of the episode, because it's almost like an opportunity for the writers to be like, well, we can basically fit the whole story into 18 minutes this time round, rather than the normal 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's just filler.
Yeah, it is a bit filler, when it has nothing to do with the plot. But yeah, still love it. I have been searching for the truth, ladies and gentlemen.
X-Files truth.
The X-Files, sons and bitches.
Oh, it's coming back, isn't it?
It sure is, and it's back, and I've watched the first episode, and it was good.
Really?
Yeah, really good. Surprisingly good. I'd heard some bum things about it, but I feel like maybe I was hearing about later episodes, because I think they're up to episode like 4 in America already. I watched it. I thought it was fucking excellent. Really good. Good to have the old gang back together. Gillian Anderson, David Duchovny, fucking great as always. They slot back into those characters so perfectly. Because I've been watching the first couple seasons on American Netflix. Just cause it's one of those shows that I thought, why do I not watch this, or why do I not like this? So I started watching it from the beginning, and I fucking love it. I really, really, really enjoy it now, which is something I had to get over, because I always hate those like Monster of the Week kind of shows or episodes. But it's such a strong show that I can completely overlook that.
X-Files is always a show that I've really wanted to watch. Like, I remember seeing it on TV as a kid and being fascinated by it, but I think I was just a bit too young to not be scared by it. Like, it would always just infiltrate my dreams and ruin everything.
There are some scary episodes now. As a guy who loves horror movies and shit like that, because I put off watching it for such a long time, I go back and I'm like, this is, fresh to me. Like there are some great episodes, like a really, really good. X-Files nerds are probably fucking yelling at their iPods right now or whatever. An episode where there's like these bugs that live in the tree, and they're scared of the light basically. And Mulder and Scully and the Man in Black, actually, the Man in Black from Lost, are basically huddled together in a cabin with one generator powering one single light bulb, and it's fucking, you know, like, will they have enough petrol to last until daybreak? It's fucking so good, absolutely spot on. Really, I keep on saying spot on. I've just noticed so much. Absolutely brilliant. Fucking loved it. And this new episode was awesome as well. Gets you straight back in it. There's no fucking around. There's no like, oh, let's reintroduce you to a character. It's like, no, there they are. There's an alien. There's some fucking mad shit. I'll tell you who's in it. Charlie and Sam. Jeff Winger from Community.
No way.
Yeah, he plays like a bit. He plays like a bit of like a Rush Limbaugh sort of. What are they? You know, like one of those.
Shock.
Yeah, kind of. He's like a David Icke kind of Rush Limbaugh. He's basically like a guy who's on there like a 9/11 conspiracy guy and talking about how it's all linked in with aliens and the elite and all this stuff. Really good though. Excellent reveal at the end of the first episode as well. I will not ruin it, but yeah, definitely get on it.
Just look how many seasons there are. It's fucking 10 seasons.
And apparently many of them are not good.
Oh, that is so bizarre.
Because there's what... David Duchovny leaves, I think, at one point.
What?
Yeah, there's like a whole series or two series where he's not even in it.
The T-1000 took over.
Yeah, T-1000 takes over. Yeah.
Oh, God, that sounds awful.
Yeah, well...
I'll see.
And then there's two really bad movies as well. But anyway...
Perfect.
I think that's about it. Although we have not heard about what our homework is for next week. Sam Ely, do you have a show for Charlie and I to watch?
I do.
What is it?
And I have an episode.
Good man.
So the show is Limmy's show.
Are
you familiar with this?
I've seen the first episode, and I'm aware of his stuff because of Charlie Brooker as well.
Oh yeah, he has done starts. So I think the pilot's good, and the episode I'm suggesting is season 3, episode 4. So it's actually like late in the game.
Wow, okay. I thought it was like a Netflix thing. I thought there was only one season on.
No, it was BBC.
Oh, okay.
BBC Scotland. So he only did 3 seasons and a Christmas special, and I'm picking this episode because I think. Like, it's one of my favourite episodes, but I think it's a good demonstration of the type of stuff he does. Because I've had this thing where I've shown some people some episodes or like some moments, and it either hasn't like gone down entirely well. So I think this one is a good bet. Okay, so season 3, episode 4 of Limmy's show.
So if you're playing along at home, listeners, season 3, episode 4, Limmy's show. Is it on Netflix?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Fucking even better. I think that's about it for this week. Say goodbye, chumps and chumpettes.
Goodbye, chumpet.
See you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.